a lot about things like neighborhood character. But there were some more rather insidious terms as well that did keep popping up during the hearing, and I wanted to talk a bit about some of the other, slightly more disturbing things that I heard. One witness, when talking about the ADU bill, described accessory dwelling units and their possible emergence in his neighborhood as a plague. Someone else complained about, the prospect of tiny homes or small houses with smaller minimum lot sizes, worried about, who would want to live in a house the size of my 2-car garage. Bizarrely, there was an overt homage to the Supreme Court decision Euclid versus Ambler Realty from 1926, the Supreme Court case that said that zoning was constitutional. Not that it's required, of course, but that it's at least constitutional. The Institute for Justice has long seen that as an affront on property rights, but it's very rare to see someone overtly, wistfully, and almost longingly and lovingly call out that case. You also heard talk of quiet, bedroom communities being ravaged by crime if we dare to increase the density slightly, if we have an accessory dwelling unit, because we all know that if you build an accessory dwelling unit, then armed robbers immediately like to move in and start doing their thing. But the worst one I think I heard was someone talked about, the settled expectations you have when you're buying a house in a single-family neighborhood, and the idea that you are, and this is a direct quote, buying into a network, end quote. And isn't that really what it's all about, right? This is, not about housing policy or anything per se. This is about the idea that we don't want certain kind of people to live in a place. We bought this because we bought in this single-family neighborhood because they're good families, good old boys, good people, we know them. And I bought into this network of people of similar income to me, similar wealth, similar social background. And if we dare have smaller units, if we let someone build an ADU in their property, then rent it out, then someone from a different social class might potentially move in. If we build a duplex, then maybe renters might move in rather than homeowners. If we, shock horror, build a small apartment building, then goodness knows who might move in. May as well just invite the local men's prison to come and move in. And you really just heard this undertone of social horror at the idea that, anything other than a single family home might appear in someone's neighborhood, and just the absolute devastation that would bring. Of course, we know the complete opposite is true, but it just shows that, underlying a lot of the talk just about neighborhood character, or these conflicted concerns about stormwater runoff, or, the worries about increased density, are actually lurking sometimes in quite unpleasant and insidious things. We at the Institute for Justice very strongly believe that social engineering should not be trumping property rights in Texas. We think that's entirely wrong. Property rights exist for a very good reason. They should be secure, and no one should be able to co-opt the government and use government power to prevent other people from doing with their property what they see fit, as long as they're not causing a nuisance or a problem to anyone else. So